you need to settle the fuck down. There. But that was the only time that I've been with a bud, a true homie, that it was closed fist to the head.
Yeah. Yeah, but, I mean, that's drunkenness, man. Drunken logic, you know?
Yeah. And I was like a half a second away from just popping him right in the nose.
Yeah. That's why there's people there, though, and that's why you break it up and stuff, so it just doesn't turn into chaos every time. But, yeah.
So I kind of, after that, pride myself on, like, I either have to have, like, a personal vendetta against you already, and, like, if the first one I just would have hauled off in 100%, like, right to the sniffer.
Yeah.
But it was family. I mean, there was tons of families around.
No, you don't want to be somebody who, like, throws something and thinks about it later. You want to be somebody who...
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point. We have these systems and everything, you know, in place. So, because it's not even about the punch. It's somebody hitting their head on the pavement. If somebody gets knocked out, you know...
Yeah. Did you hear about that guy that in New York, he was coming back from a wedding, and he ordered an Uber, and he thought that it was his Uber, and he went and, like, banged on the window, and the guy rolled the window down and just, boom.
Oh, yeah, and he died, right?
Yeah, he fell over, hit his head on the pavement, died.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And that guy's going to jail for life now, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I think they caught him, right?
You got some manslaughter or something.
Yeah.
Even though in your defense, you're like, I didn't mean to kill him. I just opened, like... Because I think the guy was drunk, like he was being he didn't, I don't think he deserved to get punched in the face, but it was close. It was like he was being very obnoxious.
He was walking
and hitting on the stuff. And
see, something like that should be open hand,
or just ignore it. I mean, if he's breaking your window, maybe, but just ignore it. But
it's
yeah,
hard to ignore.
Hey,
Hey,
yeah.
And you're like, oh my god.
But that guy at the end of the day just rolled down the window, and I mean, and you can't even lean into your punch. You can't even sit down on your punch or anything.
Yeah.
But because he was drunk, he went out, and you know, because it's
you
really easy to get knocked out when you're drunk.
Pretty good. Like even if you get him in the orbital, there's so much bone there.
Yeah.
That you're not gonna go out cold. Like that had to have been like right in the temple.
Or he was just drunk. Like I think if you're drunk, any kind of stimulus, you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's not
just
even.
His...
It's not even drunk. It's not even proper knocked out. It's just drunk knocked out, where you're just like.
To put him off balance just enough to fall unbraced. And...
Yeah, you can put on like. You can knock out a guy by putting on the Power of Love, because the keyboards come in super hard at the beginning, like dun dun, like a drunk guy was. You know what I mean? So like yeah, but now that guy is getting charged for manslaughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Some rabbit punch.
Speaking of death and sidewalks, not yesterday, the day before, right here in San Juan by the Campion and the Jiu-Jitsu place, I was coming home from work when I saw you. And Gabe, yeah, I saw them. I was coming home from work, and they're all, blah, he's all slappy. I'm like, whatever. And I'm all waving like an idiot. I'm all, hey, guys.
We went to Taco Tuesday, because Katie got off work super early at, like, 4:45. She normally works till, like, 6:30. And then Taco Tuesday at El Adobe, they have, like, $1 tacos. And then the movie theater, movies are $6.50, which is pretty good on a Tuesday. So
it's not bad.
There was nothing. We ended up seeing Mission Impossible. It was like, it was all right. It was just mindless, high budget shit, you know. But yeah, like we wrapped up tacos and we were like, let's go to Swallows. The beers are because happy hour ended at El Adobe, and we were like, let's go get a beer and a shot before the movie at Swallows. That's the cheapest spot in town. And yeah, while we were waiting across the sidewalk, Ian came driving by.
What happened? You almost died?
No. Okay. So anyway, like I saw them. I'm all, wave like an idiot. Go down to the corner, and then like right on Bella Obispo, you know where it hits. There's the bank on the corner there, and then El Campion and that thrift store and Churchill's Liquor and Senior Barbers. Anyway, I go around the corner, and it's like all taped up, and there's like 6 cop cars, and like the whole parking lot is like taped off, like the whole corner. I'm like, what? And like everybody's slowing down, so I'm just like, all right, I'm looking, and like cops are standing, and just it looked like somebody got robbed, like a building got robbed or something. I'm all, oh, somebody busted into that bank, you know, or something like that. But today, as I was coming home, the tree that's right where, like, you go around the corner and then you can go in, there was a big RIP spray painted on the tree and a bunch of flowers and So I don't know if somebody got hit or if there was a fight or
they crashed into the tree.
Well, there was no car,
there
right?
was no car and no debris. So like,
it's gang shit, man.
It might have been like because that's I mean, shit. I went and got cigarettes there the other day and like 2 guys were all.
Yeah, I had that at Circle K. I'm not used to that much like abrupt aggression, and they're like these tiny dudes, but I don't want to get stabbed.
No,
you know what I mean, like. So I'm like, oh, whatever, man. But they're like, yo, what's up? I'm like, I don't know.
Sky.
Yeah, it was just weird to have that. I'm like, oh, I forget that. Because you think this is a nice neighborhood, but then it's not at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But I definitely am not going to play that game. Like, I don't want to get in a knife fight with some idiot who has nothing to lose.
Yeah. Never bring a fist to a knife fight, right?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Unless you're Burt Reynolds in Deliverance. He brings a bow to a gunfight.
Yeah, but I'm not going to walk around with my compound bow all over the neighborhood. That's when I'm going to get pulled.
Well, and you're not Burt Reynolds.
I'm not Burt Reynolds.
Yeah. I think that's the bigger factor.
One night, we were walking the creek home. This happened a lot of years ago. And we went to the bars, got all drunk, picked up a 24-pack, and we're walking home on the creek. Now the police substation's over there at the dance hall. Well, it was just the dance hall, and then so there's the dance hall, city hall is over there. Boom! And so like we're walking by almost to the bridge. There's a table with this. I think I know the guy's name. I'm not gonna say it, but there was like a short guy, and a really big guy, and they're all blah, 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 blah. And we're like, what, dude? We're just drunk, having a good time. And like one of them like did this, and he had a gun. He's like, why don't you give us some beers, Holmes? And like, I was with that Tim guy, the tall guy who was beautiful, the Aryans, whatever. But like, he's all, hey, bar, 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 bar. And so they sat down and talked about prison because they both had stories. And I'm like, great. One of my other buddies was like, we're gonna fight. I'm like, dude, calm them down. We're not gonna fight.
That's crazy. So they were trying to low key rob you, and the guy was sat down and talked to them.
Yeah, the guy sat down. He's like, fuck it, like, you know, like he's all.
Did he give him a couple beers though?
He did.
Yeah,
he did. He gave him a few beers, and we had a few beers with him. And then he's like, all right, well, we're gonna take off now. Here's some beers for you guys. Play it safe, guys. And they're like, oh yeah, cool. Thanks for the beers, Holmes. And he's like, okay, weird. Again.
That's weird.
Yeah. Like totally.
It's not really a robbery. It kind of was, but
it was. Well, I think he only brandished his weapon because that one guy was like he was hot-headed. Not Tim, but the other guy. I don't want to say his name, but he was hot-headed. He was drunk, so he was always like, "Want to fight?
Okay.
Want to fight?"
Yeah.
And
So
like,
that's why that guy did that.
Yeah. He was like, "Oh." He could see that he was itchy. Like, "Oh, is something gonna happen?" Like, and then he's like, "Look, you know." I don't know if he was like, "Tell your buddy to calm down" or whatever. And I'm just like, what's up, guys? I think I know you. And he's like, no. I'm like, no, yeah, you're like, so-and-so's cousin. And he's like, oh, how you doing? I'm like, oh, yeah, cool.
That happened to me at the point with my roommate. Because the way my roommate, John Andy, love him, talks, is very loud. He wouldn't mind me telling the story.
No, I remember that.
It's very, and he's like, blah, 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 all these. And then the guy next to me was like super, gangstery.
Machismo.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, you look mad. You sound mad. You seem angry." And it's like, "Oh, God.
No, I'm just John Andy. That's the way I talk." Ah!
So I'm just playing it Canadian neutral, like, I mean,
you're in between the two.
Yeah.
So
So we're talking, and then he wins him over. John Andy wins him over, of course, and you can see the guy down it like, oh, this guy just does it volume. The volume knob's broken on this guy. Like, he's saying reasonable things, he's just blaring them. So they start getting along, and then this guy's friend, who's super white and completely drunk himself into complete foolish, just an idiot. He's wearing a UFC fighter shirt and telling people, remember, he came up and he's like doing this thing with his teeth, like he's a gangster, and then he's like, I'm like jujitsu, and he's pointing at the back of his shirt. And he's just making a complete fool out of himself. I'm like, okay, so you had one. My one is better than your one. My obnoxious guy is better than your obnoxious guy. Do you remember that guy? When we were all sitting down and he came outside and he
right
said...
at the corner of the bar.
He said
at
was,
the point.
Yeah.
He's like, do you know who I am?
Yeah, and he's pointing at his shirt, and I was like, dude, that's a UFC fighter. You're not a UFC fighter. You're about fucking 80 pounds overweight. like the urge to not slap that guy was incredible. Remember the guy? I was dead quiet, and the guy who was with us was like, "Hey man, calm down." I'm like, like he just knew that I was about to jump up.
Yeah, like, and I like asked him like when like the guy was first spinning out John Andy because he was like in between them all. Hey, you want to go join me for a cigarette?
Yeah,
and he just like, okay.
This is stressing me out.
I'm like, all right. Well.
I'm just sitting there drinking coffee.
Yeah. Happy first week.
Yeah. No, it's all right. It's fine. It's just his friend was completely
No, that's the problem with those
out of
people.
control.
Like, you never know. Like, you know how you are. You know how people you know are. But like, it's just the mingling of like two different tribes, groups, whatever.
Right. It's a bad, and it's not that the guy. That guy is harmless. You're gonna. He's not a threat, but he's pushing your buttons and annoying you. And then when you rise up, there's gonna be somebody who J-hooks in.
Yeah.
And that guy's you don't know how dangerous that guy is.
No,
because you haven't even seen that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem with bars. That's the problem with all that shit. And so it's like, and you have people who aren't situationally aware.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm just a people person. Like, I'm just talking to everyone. I'm like, dude, no.
You're talking to the wrong people.
No, man.
I think that's one thing I'll never really realize and kind of take for granted is that when you're my height, usually they're like, yeah, that guy can hit me from across the room.
Oh,
like,
dude,
it's not gonna hurt. Like,
yeah, you're a target though. You could be a target. Like, you need to be careful still, you know. But yeah, you're not gonna get people being passive.
Yeah, I mean, if I
aggressive.
walk up and I'm like, hey guys, everything cool here? Like, no one's gonna be like, you want to fucking go, dude? If I have fucking 6 inches on you, you're not like. Most people are gonna be like, yeah, no, we're cool. But we had one time I
don't know. There's a lot of me's out there. You know, you got to be careful. You know.
One time, my old boss from work,